Hi, my name is Miss Goldstein. I am your child's English teacher. I know that I had the privilege of meeting a lot of you at open house at the beginning of the school year, and I've been in correspondence with many of you as the school year has progressed. And I am very much looking forward to continuing to provide a education for your child as we move to online classes. While I do not have any definitive announcements about how long this will last or anything like that. That's not really my area of expertise. I will in this video be clearing up a lot of the expectations for my English classroom as we are online, however long that may be. So the first thing that I need to make you aware of is that the platform that I use for my online classroom is the same one that your student has been using throughout the school year. We have always used Google Classroom in my room when we do online learning. So that is what the portal, where your child will be given work and where your child will need to turn work in. And so they are all already signed up for Google Classroom. That's something that I had done at the beginning of the school year, so that is completely settled and taken care of. You don't need to worry about that. I have already notified the students via my first post that they will need to check Google Classroom every single day by 8:15 because I will be posting the assignment for them at 8:15. Okay, the reason why that's crucial is because my office hours are from 9 to 12. So I will answer an email or a message from your child at any time, but specifically I'll be able to provide immediate feedback from 9 to 12 during my office hours. So during those office hours, there are a couple of different ways as of right now that you can get a hold of me. You can always email me. My email is samanthagoldstein@nbisd.org. Okay, that's how I'm putting out this video information now, so please feel free to email me at any time. You can also message me on Remind if you are on Remind. If you have not signed up for my Remind yet, I will include the passcode or the class code that you need to do that. You'll just need to send a simple text message, follow the attachment that's here in the email. It'll have the number you text and it will have the text message that you will need to send in order to join my Remind account. If you are already on there, again, please feel free to message me during school hours, so anytime between 8 and 4 there, and then specifically for an immediate response, anytime between 9 and 12. I am looking into forwarding my school phone to my cell phone so that you guys can use my school phone number to reach me as we're learning online in case you have any concerns about student grades, student work, student accountability, which I'll cover a little bit more in this video as well. So I will definitely update you guys when I have forwarded my phone from school. So that you guys can have a phone number to call me on while we are learning digitally. Finally, I'm currently working with some of the tech support so that I can learn how to set up video conferencing. I'm not sure which app I'm going to be using to do that yet. I'm still waiting to hear back about the training. But as soon as I can, I will be offering video conferencing as well for your students in case they need tutorials, if they aren't understanding the instructions. I know a lot can get lost in communication when you don't have that nice instant feedback when you're talking in person. So hopefully I'll be able to provide video conferencing sooner rather than later, and I will keep you up to date about that. Okay, before I go into accountability, the last thing I want to say is that I know that this is a learning curve. This is a learning curve not only for me as the teacher, but also for the kids and for you guys as well. So I am going to be handling this with a lot of grace as we navigate it, and I will be as understanding as possible, as fair as possible, as we kind of figure out how this is going to work for the time being. To go with that, let's talk a little bit about accountability. So your support is huge. It's crucial at this time when your students are learning online. I will definitely do my end of the bargain. I will still be emailing students when they aren't turning in assignments. I will still email you when students are turning in assignments. But the way I see it, even more than we were before, now we're a team. And I am looking forward to working with all of you so that we can make sure that your child is still getting an education that they deserve. So please, your support is more than encouraged. I mean, it's really crucial at this point for your child's education. I will make sure that, so one of the features that we have in our Google Classroom platform, which is pretty awesome, is that I can invite you guys as guardians, as parents or guardians, to the platform so that you can see the assignments that your students are receiving, and you can see if your student is turning in work, not turning in work. And so I had a parent kind of reach out to me already about, well, how can I hold them accountable? How do I know what assignments they are receiving? If you would like to be invited to the Google Classroom platform so that you can monitor your students' progress, you are more than welcome to do that. And just make sure that you send me an email, either replying to this email or an email that's separate that says I would like to be added to the Google Classroom. I will happily do that, and that will be connected through your email. Okay, other ways to stay up to date. Just like I have throughout the school year when they had assignments due when we were in person, I will continue to send out remind texts about upcoming assignments that are due. And I will also be looking into the possibility of a Google Calendar. But for right now, Remind is where to go. Okay, and as I'm saying it out loud, as I'm thinking about it, sticking to one platform is probably the easiest for all of you. So as we have been doing, just business as normal, I'll be sending out the assignments via remind text. This assignment is due tomorrow. I'll make sure that the assignment name in the text is the same as the assignment name on Google Classroom, so it's very easy to figure out kind of what I'm communicating about deadlines. On the topic of deadlines, it's important that we continue to let the kids know that this is a normal grading cycle. So we've received communication that just like any other grading cycle, we have a minimum of 9 daily grades and 3 major grades. It's likely that we'll end up doing more than that. We usually do, but this grading cycle is just like any other. And with that said, I wanted to kind of remind you about my grading policy. So it'll stay the same that it has been the whole year. My grading policy has always been they have a deadline. And then I offer a 3-day grace period because 6th grade is such a transitional year already, in addition to all the things that the kiddos are dealing with right now. So that 3-day grace period, they have no penalty. Between the day that it's due and 3 days after the assignment is due, they can still turn it in for total full credit. And then after the 3rd day, if they still haven't turned it in, it will go into the gradebook as a 50%, and I will be sure to notify the student and the parent that that email is, or that assignment is missing. Okay, so I'm going to say that again just in case. My grading policy is as kind of how it's always been. Due date, 3-day grace period, no penalty. After the 3rd day, they can get up to 50%. As we are just starting this online learning process, I will probably have a lot of grace through the end of this week just so that to make sure everybody's on board, especially as I'm navigating how instruction looks and how everything is coming together for this to be a smooth process for your kids. If you have any concerns about grades, then absolutely just email me just as always, and I will work with you. The most important thing to me is that your kids are getting an education. At the end of the day, that is my number one, always, no matter what's happening. So please feel free to talk to me at any time about that. The last thing that I want to talk about for now is just makeup work. Okay, so there were several kiddos, as always, that were absent right before spring break. If a kiddo was absent, and because of the circumstances, even if they weren't absent and they just didn't turn in the work that was due right before spring break, I'm reopening that for them. I'm going to have underneath a topic in Google Classroom. The topic is Sadako and the Thousand Paper Cranes, which is the story we were reading before spring break. And as well as the assignments that went with that, I'll have an instructional video for each of those assignments. If your student was absent or if I don't have those assignments for them, I will be sending them an email to let them know that they have XYZ assignments due. I'll let them know where they can find the makeup videos so that they can have the instruction to complete those assignments, and then I'll make sure that I follow up with them and give them a deadline for when that makeup work is due. So the reason why I'm reopening this is not only because of the circumstances, not only because of students that were absent before spring break, but most importantly because those grades that went with that book, that novel, Sadako and the Thousand Paper Cranes, are going on this 9 weeks. Don't panic, a lot of the kids have turned this stuff in. There's only a handful in each class that were either absent or I just didn't get it from them. So if your student receives an email about makeup work, they do have the opportunity to do that, and they're going to need to check Google Classroom under the makeup work post that's there. Okay, I don't want to eat up too much of your time because I know that your student has 6 teachers, and I know that even though education is still a priority, that there are probably other things on your plate right now. So please make sure that you let me know if you need anything for your child's education when it comes to English class. I'm here to help. I'm here to make this as smooth and as easy as possible for your student, and I'm only an email or a text on remind away right now. Y'all stay safe, take care, thank you.